Imagine finding a town where every single clock, every single heartbeat of time, stopped forever at the same second. This is the story of a town where every clock stopped at 2:37 a.m. It was supposed to be just another road trip. Three friends, Ryan, Claire, and Miguel, had spent the weekend hiking to the forests of Wyoming. They were exhausted, dirty, and just wanted to make it home before dawn. But by the time they got back on the highway, something felt off. The GPS kept rerouting them. Cell service dropped to 0. And the last gas station they'd passed had been over 40 miles back. Fog rolled across the asphalt like a living thing. Thick, white, swallowing their headlights. Ryan leaned forward in the driver's seat, squinting. I swear this road wasn't even on the map earlier. Claire, sitting in the back seat, was scrolling through offline maps. We should have hit a town by now. I'm not seeing anything. Wait. She pointed out the window. Through the fog, a weathered wooden sign appeared. Welcome to Dunwich Falls. Population 1,436. Miguel chuckled. Never heard of it. Let's hope they got gas. They followed the cracked two-lane road into the town. And as the fog thinned, Dunwich Falls revealed itself. It looked frozen in time, like something out of a 1950s postcard. Rows of brick buildings, a clock tower in the distance, a diner with flickering neon lights. The streets were empty, but every shop window was lit. Ryan's eyes went to the car clock. 2:37 a.m. He didn't think much of it, until he noticed Claire staring at her watch. What? He asked. She frowned. It says 2:37. Miguel looked at his phone. Same. They laughed it off, but unease started to settle in. Every building they passed, the bank, the post office, even the pharmacy, had a clock inside, and every single one read 2:37. Not 2:36. Not 2:38. Exactly 2:37. They parked outside the diner. The sign above the door buzzed faintly. Marlene's Home Cooking. Open 24 hours. Inside, the lights were warm. The smell of coffee lingered. Half-eaten pies sat on the counter. A jukebox hummed softly in the corner, playing Dream a Little Dream of Me. But there wasn't a single person there. Hello, Claire called out. Her voice echoed through the empty space. Nothing. They wandered deeper inside. The air felt heavy, stale, like no one had breathed it for decades. On the counter sat a newspaper, edges yellowed. July 19th, 1987. Miguel frowned. That's 30 years ago. Ryan shook his head. No way this place has been empty that long. Suddenly, the jukebox stuttered. The music slowed, distorted, before cutting off entirely. Then, the clock above the counter chimed. 1, 2. They turned toward the sound. The diner's fluorescent lights flickered, buzzing like angry wasps. Then, somewhere outside, another clock began to ring. Then another. The bells echoed to the town, overlapping, chaotic, deafening. And then, all at once, they stopped. The silence that followed was suffocating. Claire whispered, "Let's get out of here." They ran back to the car, slamming the doors. Ryan started the engine, but the car's radio switched on by itself. Through the static, a voice whispered, "Don't leave yet." It was a man's voice. Calm, slow, almost gentle. Miguel's face went pale. "Did you hear that?" The voice repeated, clearer this time. "You're not supposed to be here." The fog outside began to move, not drift, but move like it had shape. Figures seemed to flicker within it. Shadows that didn't quite look human. Ryan pressed the gas pedal. The tires screeched as they tore down the empty street. The moment they passed the town's border sign, every single light in Dunwich Falls flickered out. Street lamps, windows, the diner, all plunging into darkness. And then the fog vanished. The road ahead was suddenly clear, the night sky full of stars. Their phones blinked back to life. The GPS reconnected. The dashboard clock jumped forward. 3:12 a.m. None of them said a word. They just drove miles and miles until they saw a gas station glowing on the horizon. When they stopped, Miguel got out to fill the tank. The attendant, an older man in a baseball cap, looked at their car and laughed. "You folks look like you've seen a ghost." Claire told him about Dunwich Falls, The diner, the clocks, everything frozen at 2:37. The man's smile faded. "You mean that old story?" he said. "There's no Dunwich Falls anymore." Ryan frowned. "What do you mean, anymore?" The attendant leaned on the counter. Chemical plant exploded their back in 87. Wiped out the whole town in one night. Happened around. He glanced at the station clock. 2:37 in the morning. Miguel stared. "No, that's impossible. We were just there." The man shook his head slowly. "Then I guess you drove through a ghost, son." Ryan turned to look at the car and froze. The rear bumper was coated in fine gray dust. Not dirt, not soot, ash. And smeared across the back window, faint but unmistakable, were the words, written in someone's fingertip, "See you again at 2:37. The air grew cold. None of them said another word. They left that gas station and never spoke about Dunwich Falls again. But sometimes, late at night, Ryan still dreams of the fog. And every time he wakes up, the clock beside his bed reads the same thing. 2:37 a.m.